G'day everybody, and thanks for joining me. Well, today is the day that I'm going to be showing you a video I really didn't want to be doing, and neither should any other drone pilot. It is the day that I dropped my Mavic Pro into that little bit of dirt there you see in front of you. So many contributing factors that added up and accumulated into what actually happened that day. I had signal losses, I had disruptions, I wasn't concentrating, all these sort of things, and I had a 30-kilometer headwind, which I knew all about before I took off, so it's not as if I wasn't aware of it. But anyway, everything accumulated together and I had to land this thing on this bit of dirt. So what I'm going to be running through today is my thought process of what I was thinking when I was doing it, why I chose where I landed, and all that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm going to push play and here we go. Okay, so the first thing that I actually did when I realised that I couldn't make it back and I made the decision to ditch it was press screen record, because I wanted some documentation. I wanted something that I could reference when it was on the drone, that I could watch back and I could see what was around this thing at the time. So screen recording was very important to me at the time. I also chose this little bit of land here. Now this bit of land here was, there's lots of places I could have landed, but this here had some houses and shacks on it. Houses and shacks means people. People means there's a road there. So this place is going to be accessible, because so many places along this this line here with this water you just can't get to. So I had to make sure that I was going to get somewhere that I could actually get to with a relative amount of ease. Now the third thing that I did was I punched it up to 120. Now, paramount having height when you've got auto land and all this sort of stuff involved. You want as much time as you can to pick somewhere that you want to land safely. And having that height, it gives you that option to really have a great look around. Now, I also wanted to land it close to the watermark. So here, down there by the water there. Because if I landed it up here anywhere like this, you've got a 360-degree radius of that drone to search. Now, that's a big area. You pop that down by the waterline, you've just halve that radius by 180, and you walk that little bit of water line there, and you're going to find your drone sooner or later. Now what I did here, I popped the camera into full auto, which as you can see opens up the ISO and you can see everything that's going on. Now bearing in mind, I could see everything that was going on from where I was flying. I could see that there was no trees, I could see there were no people. I knew that this was a safe place to put this bird down. What I'm actually doing here is I'm looking at the line of the water, and I'm looking for the biggest place, the place that comes out the furthest, to give me some sort of reference to when I'm on the land, I can actually see where this drone would be. And I'm looking at the relationship between those houses there and where I'm actually going to be putting the drone, which gives me here we go, going into auto landing, which gives me a good idea of where the drone's going to be. Now, this is where the height comes into it, where I've got plenty of time here to pick somewhere to land. Now, as you can see here, it's a very rocky terrain. And the last thing I want to be doing is popping this drone down on a rock. The Mavic Pro's camera is very easily broken. You know, it's a pretty flimsy thing. And I've seen it hanging off plenty of Mavics, and it ain't a pretty sight, man, let me tell you. So that's the last thing I wanted to happen. So I'm going to pop this thing in as much as I can into a clear area. And I picked a spot out here. Now, bearing in mind, when it's in auto land, you're not restricted to this baby just coming straight down and that's the end of it. You can throttle it up and you can move it left to right. As you can see, critically low, I'm still coming down, baby. You're not restricted to just coming straight down. So you can move left and right and do all your stuff to make sure that you find a nice spot that you can land. Now, you can't really see the size of these little rocks next to this cursor here, because as you get closer, you still don't want to be landing on one of those, because it can punch the camera up and what have you, and I don't want that. So I've still got to find a spot there where the camera's going to sort of like slip in between stuff, just to make sure that it's got clearance and it won't hit it. I've got some landmarks here, I've got some footprints, and I've got a couple of rocks here, so that gives me something to look at too when I'm actually on the ground. Now around about the 2 meter mark, I'm going to get that confirm land, and what happens after that, slider across, thank you very much. Now the drone didn't actually like where it was landing, and it was going, and it gave me that not suitable for landing warning.
Critically low battery.
Critically low. You're not going anywhere but down. Force that landing, and that's what I had to do. Still didn't like it. Can't believe how many times I had to do that. And the drone goes down, and boom, lost connection. So there you have it. There's my Mavic landing in a spot which wasn't really desirable, you know, and hopefully I learned something from that. Hopefully someone can get something out of this video as well, and hopefully it doesn't happen to anyone, but you know, if it does, this may help you out in some point. So I have got a recovery video coming out. It'll be of that night when Tony and I ended up going down there with torches and all sorts of stuff to go and find this drone. Pretty eventful, so watch out for that one in the near future, and watch those headwinds, people. They will knock your socks off. And please, everybody, take care. Hit the like and subscribe if you want to. That would be fantastic, and I shall see everybody on the next one. Ciao.